Hi guys, in a previous video we explained the characteristics of members of the stupid cult. In this video we're going to borrow a 12-step recovery program from Alcoholics Anonymous, and it's called a 12-step recovery program for recovering stupid cults. Recovering stupid cults are recommended to read and absorb each one of these steps every morning. Step number 1. I appreciate the law of cause and effect and understand that events are not random but instead are caused by actions or inactions. For every effect there's a definite cause. An object won't move unless an external force is placed upon it. Your mother, when you were a child, ignored your protestations of innocence when she looked at the floor and saw the remains of the ornament that had fallen from the mantelpiece. She knew it didn't leap off by itself. She understood the law of cause and effect. Step number 2. I fully admit that my present circumstances are a direct result of my inactions or actions. They are my fault and no one else's. Step 2 differs from step 1 in that you have to admit it's your fault. Rather, like being a recovering alcoholic, you have to admit you have or had a problem. Now, once you understand the laws of cause and effect, there are only two explanations for your current situation. One is that they were caused by an external force, or you caused it yourself. Whilst it's easy to blame someone else for your current circumstances, the truth is it's your fault. Now, this is kind of liberating in as much that there is no one else responsible for your recovery. It's all down to you. You're in charge. Step number 3. I recognize that if my circumstances are to change, then I must do something different. Step number 3 is an admission that change is necessary if your situation is to improve. If where you are is a direct result of your actions or inactions, then in order for your circumstances to improve, you have to do something different, otherwise you're going to get what you've always gotten. Step number 4. A budget is the most powerful weapon in my war against stupidity and poverty. Budgeting is difficult. It's like a fat person counting calories. It's difficult, but it really is the secret to achieving your financial goals. Knowing how much you spend and how much you need to generate in order to achieve your financial goals is essential. Your budget is the route to your financial goals, and it's also the motivation to make you work harder to hit those targets so you can achieve that dream lifestyle. Step number 5. I believe all debt is bad debt. Rather than reduce the waiting time for gratification, it extends the pain due to its repayment plus interest. Debt is a cancer and will kill you just as efficiently as its biological counterpart. Just because you can use debt to enable you to buy something doesn't mean you can afford it. Debt is to be avoided at all costs. Step number 6. I insist that I am more important than any other claimant upon my income, and I ensure that I am paid first. Every time you spend money, you make someone other than yourself wealthier. So if you wanted to be wealthy, the first thing you would do is when you got paid, you'd set up a direct debit from the bank account that you get paid into a savings account. You decide how much you want to save every month and you set that direct debit up. Over time, you would become wealthy. You couldn't avoid it. It would be impossible not to. So make sure you pay yourself first. Step number 7. In a chaotic world, random events will occur beyond my control which will impact my life. I do believe that any impact may be lessened by the establishment of a cash emergency fund. How much you save in an emergency fund will depend upon your attitude to risk. As a rule of thumb, ask yourself this question. If I were to lose my job today, how many months would it take for me to find a job with the same level of income? And let's say that's 3 months. Well, in that case, you would save 3 months worth of bill money in your emergency fund. Step number 8. I understand the phenomenon that is compound interest and its effortless ability to turn even the smallest amounts of money into great wealth given enough time. Albert Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. Someone working at McDonald's from age 18 to 67 only needs to save 2 hours of their weekly wage from 18 to 67 in a good index tracker fund to become a millionaire. That's the magic of compound interest. Step number 9. I value my time immensely and recognize that a cost in time must be allocated to each purchase. Every purchase comes at a price, not just of money but of time also. If you work for £10 an hour and you buy a t-shirt for £10, you had to work an hour for that t-shirt, probably in a job you didn't much enjoy. So if you buy a 15-inch pizza with a bottle of roller cola and a couple of bags of chips for 20 quid, you've had to work 2 hours in order to buy that. Perhaps it would have been better just to cook yourself something and spend 20 minutes doing it instead of working 2 hours at a job you didn't enjoy. If you spend £15,000 in a car, it could take you 9 months of your work to repay it. And that's if you're buying cash of course. If you're doing it in credit, then you're selling your future time. You've got to work the next 9 months to pay for the car. you have to ask the question, is it worth the time invested? Step number 10. I deplore the accumulation of worthless stuff. Walk around a non-wealthy person's house and you'll find it full of stuff, little knickknacks and trinkets that they've picked up along the way. They are expert consumers. Our definition of consumerism is the belief that the acquisition of more and more crap is a good thing. When you pick up one of these knickknacks and it should be worth £20, but you bought it for 10, you haven't saved £10, you've spent £10. Stop buying stuff. Step number 11. I believe the accumulation of wealth to be a worthy and noble cause. There are those who believe that the pursuit of wealth to be nothing but greed, and state that instead we should try to alleviate the lot of the poor. But you can't help the poor by being poor yourself. You first have to become wealthy. Bill Gates, one of the wealthiest guys in the world, now spends his life giving his wealth away. So get wealthy. Step number 12. I believe that wealth is merely the combination of hard decisions, hard saving, and hard work. It's hard work becoming wealthy, there's no denying it. But it's the hard work that deters the normal, the average, the stupid cults. And that's not us. Well, thanks very much for listening, guys. We'd really like to get the Stupid is the Norm message out to a wider audience, so if you can subscribe and share, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to receive our monthly newsletter where we put the very best of Stupid is the Norm videos, the vlogs, the blogs, etc., then go to stupidisthenorm.co.uk and sign up for the newsletter. Don't be stupid, don't be normal, and above all, don't be a stupid cult.